Hey everybody, Miss Dietrich here. We're taking a look at number 12, which reads, Zach scored 5 more than 3 times the number of points Alex scored. If Zach scored Z points, how many points did Alex score? Now what makes this question very difficult is they're not talking about Zach, they're talking about Alex. So you would first need to take all these little nuggets and think about what might that look like as an equation. So if he scored 5 more, that means we're adding 5, then 3 times the number of points Alex scored, so that would look like this. Whatever Alex scored, if we multiply it by 3 and then add 5, then we get Zach's score. So they want to know if Zach scored Z points. So I think let's just put in a hypothetical value for how many points he did score. So let's say he scored 11 points. If he scored 11 points, what we need to figure out is what would we need to do to get Alex's score, which makes this very tricky. It's almost like we have to solve an equation really to really understand which one it is. So if we actually do apply a little bit of algebra, the opposite of add 5 is subtract 5. So we'd be subtracting 5 from both sides of the equation. So that means we need to look for a subtract 5 situation. So we have a subtract 5 situation here. That's not, and this is not. So this is kind of looking like it might be the contender here. Now if we were actually going to solve, we would get 6 here. This would cancel out, and we'd bring down the 3a. And if we had to figure out what this number is, like 3 times some number would equal 6, what's the opposite of that? Well, wouldn't we be dividing by 3? And if Zach actually scored 11 points, wouldn't Alex have scored 2 points? So if we put in our hypothetical value, right, which here is 11 for Zach and here is 2 for Alex, and let's see if this makes sense. So we're assuming that Alex scored 2 points. Zach scored 5 more than 3 times, right, 3 times 2, and that would give us the 11. So that works. So let's look again at what we did. We had to subtract 5, and then we had to divide by 3. So if we took Zach's number and subtracted 5, so we want to check to make sure we get, our values for our hypothetical. If we take 11, right, and subtract 5, and then divide it by 3, let's see if we get the 2 for Alex. This would be 6 divided by 3, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. So that's the only one that works. If you try some of these other ones, they just simply don't work because they're not the right operation. So we're subtracting 5, and then we're dividing by 3.